say I've never met anybody that was more crazy than me. So people problem these days is they be playing like they got issues. I really got issues. I'm delusional.
I don't wanna be with you. I don't wanna be when I'm with you. I don't wanna be with.
A 20-year-old man popular on TikTok has been arrested in connection with the murder of a Louisiana therapist. Terrion Thomas's account, called Mr. Prada 456, has around 4 million followers. This was his most recent post, before authorities in Dallas, Texas, took him into custody. Therapist William Abraham's body was found September 29th, wrapped in a tarp on the side of a highway, police say. He was killed by blunt force trauma. According to Abraham's website, he was a life coach, licensed professional counselor, and motivational speaker. Investigators released these surveillance photos of whom they say was the last person known to have been driving Abraham's car. At this time, the possible connection between the two men is unknown. Thomas is charged with second-degree murder and obstruction of justice, among other charges. He is being held without bond.
Okay, today's was about a Mr. Terrion Thomas, or AKA Mr. Prada, or after his rebranding, he likes to go by Emo Psycho Twink.
Hey, so first of all, I'm rebranding myself to my new identity is Emo Psycho Twink. Yeah, Emo Twink.
Mr. Prada was a famous social media influencer that got famous by basically stealing everyone's content and reposting it and getting millions of views. He died until he reached up to 4.5 million, which is very impressive. Mr. Prada will continue being successful on social media until people start noticing very small, slight signs with him. Mr. Prada will start to appear different and even acting very strangely while on camera, and he will post these videos on his social media for everyone to see till people start really questioning him. His audience immediately picked up on him. They kept asking him if he's okay or if something's wrong with him, but he never would respond to those comments. All this would continue until all his fans unfortunately had to wake up to this.
Friends, thanks for joining us tonight. TikTok star Terrion Thomas is now being charged with the brutal and bloody murder of a Baton Rouge therapist.
Georgia Peck spoke with the East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office today to kind of get of what they think happened in this. She joins us now. Hey, Georgia.
A search of Mr. Prada's apartment, whose legal name is Terrion Thomas, uncovered evidence connecting him to the therapist's murder. This is where deputies believe the murder happened, an apartment complex off Essen Lane in Baton Rouge. They say surveillance video shows the victim, Dr. Nick Abraham, arrive here at Mr. Prada's apartment Saturday morning. But he never walked back out.
We have a witness at the apartment complex that saw the suspect dragging what we now believe is the victim's body.
Someone saw the body Sunday morning in Tangipahoa Parish, wrapped in a tarp and left alongside a highway. These photos were released Monday of a person of interest in the case.
I'm bipolar.
It turned out to be Terrion Thomas, the TikTok personality. Monday afternoon, Baton Rouge police say they spotted him driving the victim's stolen car along Sherwood Forest Boulevard. Witnesses tell us police had him stopped in this parking lot. He tried to back up, and when he realized he couldn't get out, he hopped up onto this curb and went through this breezeway. He drove through this way, crashing into this planter right here, and then made his way to the back parking lot. The wheel then fell off the car back here. He got out and ran through those buildings.
The police chasing him with his gun out, move back.
And watch closely here. A woman who saw it unfold shot this video of the driver, believed to be Mr. Prada, running off.
When they went out to everyone, we had family members that reached out and said, hey, he got a ride back to his apartment after the pursuit with BRPD, and somehow he got to the bus station. And from the bus station, he took the bus to Dallas, Texas.
The U.S. Marshal Service arrested him in Dallas late Tuesday. When detectives searched his Baton Rouge apartment, they say they found evidence that a violent physical altercation happened there, including several sharp objects and weapons, plus a large amount of blood. With samples of that sent to the state crime lab Wednesday night, they got a match.
So to quickly summarize, Mr. Prada all of a sudden snapped and he ended up killing his therapist that came to his apartment one night. That was the reason why the therapist was at his apartment. People are saying it's not his therapist, and it was most likely maybe a hookup type of thing, because both men are openly gay. Night, something set off Mr. Prada, causing him to be very upset, and ended up beating his therapist to death with a hammer. Killed his therapist. He ended up wrapping him up in a blue tarp, and he threw him inside his car, not his own car, but the therapist's car. And then he ended up driving to a remote area in Texas and dumping the body on the side of the road. They ended up finding the body literally the next day and basically sent out a manhunt for him. And the police did not know who Mr. Prada was, but they had his identity and they had his face, but of course they just didn't know he was like a social sensation. They just thought it was like a random swing killing people. The day they ended up catching him thanks to his social media, and they got him in custody currently right now. So far charging him with first-degree murder, but no one has any updates on that just yet because his trial didn't start yet. Some important motives that people should look into, that why he would have done something like this. If you look online and look up his therapist, you can see that he was charged for being an abuser maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, but he ended up getting off scot-free. So basically what was going on with that case, the little boy said Mr. Abraham S.A'd him during one of the therapy sessions that they had together, which caused the case to open up about it, but they ended up dropping the charges because they couldn't really prove anything. So who's to say? Is all up to how you think about it. So, but people speculate that that little boy could have been Mr. Prada, or Mr. Prada could have had a similar experience to the young boy. But anyways, after they found the body, they did locate Mr. Prada. They went on a car chase with him through a parking lot, and then he got out and ran on foot. Eventually they did catch him and they did arrest him. He's now sitting on trial. He may get the death penalty, he may get life in prison so far, but I do hope he actually does get insanity at least, because obviously you can tell by the videos he's not very well. But that's all that's available for this case right now. I will post again if anything else is updated, but I'd like to thank you guys for watching.
I thought maybe I'd run to the end of town.
President Carter, suffering from heat exhaustion, fell into the arms of...
When I got there, I thought maybe I'd just run across Greenbow County. I figured since I run this far, maybe I'd just run across the great state of Alabama.